Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamlined Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. Today, I'm super excited to talk about a new feature that Clio's just rolled out, and that is the ability to create public forms. So anybody that's used Clio Grow before, you may know that the forms that Clio allows you to send out to your clients for intake and to gather information from them typically, or in the past, I should say, were not allowed to be public. So you couldn't just put them on your website and leave them available to potential clients or anything like that. You had to first specify who they were going to and then essentially send them to them via email with a link that they would then click on and input the information. Now we can make those forms available via our websites or any other public links. And so I'm going to take a minute to show you how to do it, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the tips and tricks on how to use them once we know how to put them together. So the process is pretty super easy. I'm going to go ahead and head over to my Clio Grow screen here for you. And you can see we've got our Clio Grow screen here. And a lot of us typically will view that in the pipeline, and we'll come back to that view in just a few minutes here. But for today, I want to head over to the Forms section on the left here. And if you've ever made a form before, you'll know that we'll need to head up to the Form Builder, and that's all the same still. We'll click on Form Builder, and I can either create a new form and make that a public form, or if I have one built already that's I'm using as a private form, I can go ahead and just switch that to a public form. So I'm going to show you that first. We can go ahead and take a form like this general intake form I have here, and if I click on the arrow next to edit, there is the toggle button here that says form is not public. But if I go ahead and click on it and turn it on, then it gives me the ability to copy a public link. So I can go ahead and copy that link, and now I can take that link and embed it in my website or make it otherwise available. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up another tab here on my browser, and I'm going to go to that public link, and we'll pretend like I clicked off a link on my website or something like that to get the form. And so it comes up, and just like forms of the past, you can have people type in their information, and we're going to go ahead and submit one so that you can see how they show up in Clio Grow. So here we've got Christopher Robinson, and he is Chris at poo.com. And we're going to go ahead, and that is his work email. Now, if you're not sure how to create a form, please do go ahead and look that up in the Clio help section, because that is very easy to do. And of course, now we have even more possibilities for how to use that. So I'm going to make up a little bit of a data that we can have in here. Oops, I missed it. You know, you never type well when people are watching. We'll go ahead here and put in a phone number here, and we'll go ahead and put in a date of birth. Very young client here, born in 2018. So they can go through and fill out the whole form, and we'll go ahead and click submit here. And we get a thank you form. Now, if I go back to my Clio Grow screen and I get out of the form builder here, we'll exit out of that, and I'm going to come back to my pipeline, we'll see now that that form that I just submitted for Christopher Robinson is here. Now, keep in mind, anytime that a public form is completed, it will create a new contact and it will create a new matter. So we do want to watch this first column very carefully so that as these forms pop up, we will get an email notification, but they will also pop up in the first column and have this tag that says form submitted. So now I can go into the matter, and I can go into the files, and I can see the intake form that was filled out and submitted, and I can go through all the information that was submitted in that form. Now, couple of things to keep in mind here. It's always going to put the new matter in that first pipeline. So one of my suggestions is you may want to make sure you don't miss anything, you may want to build out your pipeline so that we have an additional column right here next to newly added that says something like internally reviewed or something like that. So we know someone has put eyes on it and taken some action, and that it's not just fresh off of the internet. Because of course we want to notice very easily when new leads pop into this column. So I would encourage you to create a second column next to newly added that says something like, internally reviewed, so we can see what's been seen and what hasn't yet on behalf of our team. And of course, it'll have that tag there, and you will get an email notification as well. So that's how it's going to show up. A couple of things to keep in mind is that public forms always create a new matter and a new contact. So if in fact you already have a person in Clio Grow, if you've already touched base with them or entered their contact information or started a new matter, do not direct them to a public form, because now that's going to create a duplicate contact and a duplicate matter. So if you already have someone in Clio Grow, please send them a form as we traditionally did by going over to forms or into their matter and sending it to them directly, as opposed to pointing them to a public link, so that you don't have a bunch of duplicates. Now, of course, those duplicates, when they do come into Clio, which may happen on occasion, we can't always delete them. But in order to prevent that, I would say the best practice is to go ahead and continue sending forms the traditional way when you do have someone in Clio already. So keep that in mind too. If you have any thoughts about using Clio Grow to gather information from your current clients that maybe are already in Manage, make sure that you are sending them private forms, not public forms, because it's just going to create a bunch of new matters. I also want to remind you guys that, again, since public forms do always create a new matter, they will not be showing up in your Clio Grow inbox. And so here we've got our inbox. We've got 6 new messages in this inbox, but keep in mind, none of them are going to be the public form that was filled out or the person that filled out the public form, because those public forms do not go into the inbox. So if you prefer the method that you're using now and using that inbox, maybe you have a Clio Grow integrated form on your website already, a contact form, not one of these public forms we've been talking about. Please continue to use that if you'd like. Those will continue to go into your inbox, but the public forms that I just showed you will not go into the inbox. Those will go directly and straight into the pipeline as a newly added matter. So just make sure that as you continue to use these forms, the public forms are a great addition. I just want to make sure you understand how they work so that you know when it's appropriate to send a private form or a personalized link for a form as opposed to the public form. So great news out of Clio Grow. It's great to see them continuing to add features and to make the program more robust. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and have a great evening. Good night.